Now, it's going to be the thing with this is the Lakers. What moves have we heard? We've heard the Utah Jazz, Boyan, Malik, Mike Conley, Pat Bev. We haven't heard anyone else from the Jazz they're interested in besides those guys then we've heard. They said they're not interested in Julius Randle, but it seems like Julius Randle and M. Fournier in a 3-team deal could go there, but they haven't shown interest. And then obviously the Miles Turner and Buddy Hield out. And if we're just talking trades, we'll talk free agent signings in a sec. We'll pull up some guys who are available. Out of those 3 teams, Jazz, Knicks, Pacers, which team would you want to facilitate a trade with?
Any.
Which
Literally
one?
any.
Obviously, we can agree, make a trade. A trade needs to be made. But which players do you think fits the roster better? And I just assume that their offense is going to be similar. They want to use Anthony Davis, probably kind of like Giannis, I guess, and LeBron played the Chris Middleton role or vice versa. I just think Davis, they're going to try to use him as like a Giannis, like, you know, because Darvin Ham being from Milwaukee. I don't know. That's just my.
He likes what he's seeing at home.
Yeah, that's on. You know what I mean?
All right.
So
I'm eliminating the Pacers
because it would have happened.
I think. Well, I my concern more is if you have a healthy Anthony Davis, I don't really need a Miles Turner and a Buddy Hield. I know LeBron's gonna be that guy with the ball in his hand, but I still would love. What was it? What was the other one outside Jazz? Knicks? Yeah, I'm all set.
I don't want Randall or Fournier.
Yeah, I'd go 100% Utah Jazz. I don't
agree.
Need Mike Conley. Give me Pat Bev because Pat Bev's someone I'm relying on in the playoffs. I'm relying on all season.
But the culture.
Exactly. He's perfect for this squad. He's absolutely perfect. And honestly, everybody else is just like complimentary, like extra cheese, baby.
I agree. I just think nothing against Mike Conley. I think we are both in agreement that Mike Conley, one of the most underrated point guards of his generation, a guy who should have gone to more All-Star games. I don't even know if Mike Conley made an All-Star game. I think he made one.
I think he made it last year.
Either
last year or the year before, because he was lighting that up from downtown, especially.
Yeah, and he's a good guy. Everybody knows Mike Conley's a good basketball player, but I think, I agree. I think you take Pat Bev because he is a loud guy. He's going to set the culture. He's going to hold people accountable. So similar to, in a lesser extent, to, how our man Jimmy Butler is. There's certain guys in the NBA that you bring them onto your team and they set an example for other players, especially with Pat Bev. He'll set the tone defensively. Nothing against, Mike Conley. He's just as good defensively. I just think, personally, I would have Pat Bev over Mike Conley. I agree. It's just a grind, a great player, like Thomas Perry just said right here. Bojan Bogdanovic and Malik Beasley. I think if you do a combination of Pat Bev, Pat Bev, Bojan, and Malik Beasley, they all are about $47 million. Guess whose contract is $47 million? On the Lakers. Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
I'd send 2 first-round picks for Beasley, Pat Bev, and Bojan.
I'll do whatever I gotta do. If Russell Westbrook's in that trade, take whatever you want, man. Take whatever you want. But at the same time, like I said yesterday, or maybe I said this in a Laker video yesterday, I'm still hope Russell Westbrook, you're still my guy. I still have faith.
Yeah, I don't know why you have faith in him. Nothing against Russell Westbrook. I just think he's the definition of an aging superstar who hasn't come to the realization that he's lost some of his athleticism and he needs to change his game. I
mean, dude, imagine, Russ is a grounder just like Pat Bevy. What if Russ comes with like a 35 at least 3-point shot next season? He's chucking up 3.5.
Oh, no. Pat, wherever Russell Westbrook ends up next year outside of the Lakers,
He's gonna be a freaking beast.
He's just gonna have the pettiest season ever. He's just gonna have like an incredible
Yeah.
stat. He's just gonna be like, "Y'all forget about me. Sign a big contract and then revert to Lakers." Thing and be like,
I don't need him to change the game. It's all
Um,
good. It's all
all right.
good. You got Big Daddy LeBron James.
So now that we're in agreement, make a deal with the Utah Jazz. Any combination of the 2 to 3 players you can. Mainly, we want Pat Bev. I like Malik Beasley and Boyan. 2 wings. I like Beasley more because he can actually defend when he tries. But 2 guys who can shoot the threes, and that's just what they need.
Dude, imagine they somehow were able to maneuver Jared. Oh my, yeah, Jared Vanderbilt in that trade.
I wish that was possible, but no, that would never happen because we both know that supposedly so many teams have called the Jazz for Jared Vanderbilt this summer.
They should, yeah.
Or they've shut it down. They're like, we like Jared Vanderbilt just as much as you guys. I bet you Danny Ainge is looking at Jared Vanderbilt and he's like, you're Robert Williams. Like, you're like, you could be like exactly what Robert Williams. Like, I don't know. Like, as much as I love Udoka Azubuike and Walker Kessler, I kind of think Jared Vanderbilt. He has a power forward body, but if you build that team right, he could really just be your center.
Oh.
Okay. So free agents. Let's look at this. The top free agents according to Hoops Hype. We know we've talked about Colin Sexton. I don't know how they get that deal done, but send Kendrick Nunn in a pick. Sexton,
Yeah,
but
it's a pipe dream. I'll take it, but I don't.
I think we're in accordance. They don't need Montrezl Harrell. They have Davis because you just said it. Why do we need Miles Turner if Davis is healthy? And then they have Damian Jones and Brian. We're assuming Davis is the starting center, and then you have Brian Jones off the bench. I'm cool with the Schroeder,
Please make it happen. Please make it happen. Why is it not happening yet?
He's kind of him and Lonnie Walker. Schroeder and Lonnie Walker could be your co-six mans.
Is it a money thing? What's he do? Why is this not happening yet?
It's probably they're just trying to see the other fishes in the sea. Again, we've talked about Carmelo last resort to round out the bench, bring him back, but
I definitely bring him back.
I just want Carmelo to go somewhere else.
I want Melo back in the leg show.
Now, if we look at another guy, we don't need any centers.
Yeah, I'd take. It's like same thing with Dwight. Like
we don't.
If it's
point guard.
all you can do for me, definitely not TJ Augustine.
I'm trying to see if there's anyone.
I'd take.
There's no Frank Jackson, no Rajon Rondo.
I'd take Rondo. I know.
I wouldn't take.
Last year.
I feel like I know injuries have really hampered Jeremy Lamb, but he shot terribly last year. But like, he's a 3-and-D guy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind on a veteran minimum. Maybe give him like a non-guaranteed deal or very little, so you maybe have him try out for the team in training camp. Basically, please do not bring Blake Griffin. Please. I would hate Blake Griffin on this team. Ben McLemore is a guy, he sometimes gets hot, but again, no defense. And it's just getting tough because free agency is really dry. And I don't know if you should get old guys and Hoops Hype, like Brandon Goodwin, he was cooking for the Hawks and then the Cavs this past year. He shot league average 35%.
He can command an offense. He could command a bench unit.
Should they bring in Jake Layman?
No.
Dude, I honestly think, and that's what I was going to say. No, I was going to say bring Chris Dunn on an Exhibit 10 contract.
My man shot 9%.
Yeah,
that works perfectly.
He averaged 2 steals a night, almost 6 assists, 7.6 points, and 3.5 rebounds. You're telling me if you bring him on a minimum contract, that wouldn't be nice off the bench? Look at how effective Frank Ntilikina was for the Dallas Mavericks during the playoffs with his perimeter defense. I think Chris Dunn's thick boy. Also, I don't know why people don't try Chris Dunn as like small forward.
He's younger. Yeah, he's such a good passer, man.
He's just Rajon Rondo. He's a bigger Rondo.
He's like a budget prime Rondo.
Yeah, he's like the Walmart great value store brand version of Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics Rondo. Rondo without the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
And so the problem is there's old guys. Didn't Luka Garza sign, I think, with the T-Wolves or something?
Do you really? Someone should have snagged him up a long time ago.
I like Timothy Luwalu-Cabarrot. He's got long arms and like he sometimes flashes, but I don't know if he's a guy. I'm not trusting Josh Jackson.
Yeah, I want him to pan out so badly.
So do I. I just don't know who to look at right here. I actually really fuck with the idea of Facundo Campazzo if they want a defensive guy.
Yep, made plenty of videos on that.
You did?
Yeah, same with the Dubs.
Facundo? I would love Facundo Campazzo on the Dubs.
Yeah.
Did you do that after we talked about it that one day?
I actually think I did. Yeah, right after. Yeah.
We talked about it there.
Yeah, that's right.
Watanabe would be cool. He's a young guy. He's shown that he can play power forward or small forward. All right, we're done with this. I don't know. We're gonna move on to the next segment.